going on, guys? Justin Fuller here, Director of Digital Sales for TrueSpot, and today I'm getting Volkswagen of St. Augustine set up to start tracking their keys and their cars on their retail side. So if you've ever wondered, man, I can't find that key and it says so-and-so checked it out last, we can solve that problem. So let's hop on in and I'll show you how. All right, guys, so step one to setting you up to start tracking your keys and your cars at your location or locations is going to be set up the network. And the network consists of a couple things. Now, outside, I'm going to use solar-powered gateways. So all I've got to do is run these up the light pole, much like the one behind me, and these are going to hold those data points here where you can see where those keys are, where those cars are as they float around the lot. Now, the second part to this is going to be inside of buildings. So next to your key machine, in tool chests and service space, all around the desk for your sales guys, I'm going to use these interior gateways. These are going to hold those data points so that you can see where anything is that's floating around inside. Now, all of this network is going to talk to a base station, which looks a lot like a wireless router. I'll throw one up on the screen for you. And this is going to hold those data points. So when you open up the phone app or you open up the desktop dashboard, you're going to be able to see exactly where that key is, that car is, that jump box, that golf cart, that dealer plate, whatever it is that you want to track. So step two, if you want to track your keys and track your cars, you've got to have some hardware to connect to the keys and to connect to the cars to track them, right? So let's talk about exactly what we're using here at VW of St. Augustine. So for my keys, I'm using the standard key tag right here. So you can see this triangle shaped tag that we've connect up to their key track piece. So all I've got to do is I've got to scan this and I can connect it up to a specific stock number VIN. It's going to then track these specific keys. Now for my vehicles, same idea, a little bit different though. I've got a hang tag right here that you're going to throw around the rearview mirror. On the back, I've got a QR code that you can scan and connect up to this specific piece of inventory. So once I've connected the tag, all I've got to do, throw it around the rearview mirror, and we're now tracking where this vehicle is. So as the vehicle moves around, we'll be able to track with that tag, and as the keys move around, we'll be able to track those keys as move around. So I can search out this specific stock number. So if it's, PS 312032, I would look it up and it would say, okay, the keys are in the key machine, or the keys are outside on the lot, and the car is sitting over in service, or the car is over in recon. I'm gonna be able to see where both those items are in one single search. So to show you how to run searches, and of course, how to connect up these tags, let's hop over to the phone app and I'll show you exactly what that looks like. All right, guys, so here we are on the phone app, and I'm actually mirroring my phone onto the screen right over here so that I can show you a couple different things. One, how to run simple searches, find keys, find cars, whatever the item is that you're searching for. And then two, how do I connect a tag up to a specific piece of inventory, to a key, to a jump box, a golf cart, whatever the item may be, a dealer plate, right? So let's talk about searches first. So the first thing you're gonna do is hit this find a key or find a car button, right? Now, once you're here, you're then gonna see the entire inventory feed, whether it's tagged or not. And on here, you can see like this first one, you can see the car's tagged and then two keys are versus the one below it, the car and the key are tagged, versus if you keep scrolling down, you might be able to find something that hasn't been tagged yet, right? So that's what you're looking at here when you scroll through. So I want to talk about what it's like to run a search. So if I was running a search, I would want to type in a stock number or VIN, right? So for the sake of this, I'm just going to pick this 2021 Chevy Blazer that's at the top of the screen right now. So if I go ahead and select it, that's what I was looking for. First, it's going to show me the location of the vehicle, if you're tracking vehicles, right? And then it's going to tell me. So on the screen up there, you can see it actually says CPO Building Lot Northwest. So that's the naming convention of what they've named this specific geofenced area. So if I zoom out, you can see a little bit more of that geofenced area, right? So this way you understand where it's at and you can see where it's at. Now, if I jump over to the key, I'm gonna go ahead and touch that key icon. It's then gonna show me where the key is at and tell me. So I can see it's in the building, but it's telling me this particular key is in the Hyundai showroom on the North Sales desk. So since the Volkswagen store and the Hyundai store share feeds and share inventory, you're gonna be able to see this whether it's at this store or at your other store. So if you happen to be a store where you have multiple campuses, this can be very helpful to understand, hey, who has it? Where is it? That sort of thing. Now, related to that, I do want to say that I could come back here to the home button, and if I wanted to, I could go into the dashboard. And the dashboard has a lot of different things that I could come across, but the important one is location of inventory. So maybe at this point, I would want to scroll down here and go, okay, well, I'm looking for something specifically in Volkswagen sales, right? So I can see that these cars are in Volkswagen sales. So if I was looking for something specific, I could jump over here and then boom, it's going to show me where all of those items are. The vehicle, the keys, so forth and so on. So that's what it looks like to run a search for a specific key or a specific car. All right, guys, so the second part to this is how do I connect up these tags, right? These specific tags to a specific piece of inventory, right? The keys that go with the vehicle, right? If I'm tracking both or just one or the other. Well, I'm gonna show you. So we're gonna go to the second button down that says True Tag Management on it. So I'm gonna go ahead and select that. Now from here, I could search out the specific vehicle if it's already in my inventory feed since I pulled that in here. But if it's not, at the top right of the screen, there's actually a little like scanner button you can see where I can open up a door jamb if it's a car I just took it on trade. I could scan that door jamb, pull the information off, and it'll drop it in here. Just like you see this 2018 Buick Enclave, you'd see the VIN, the stock number, all of that. So for the sake of this, I'm just gonna pretend for a second it's this 2018 Buick Enclave, right? So something that's already there. I've got a tag a key button and a tag a car button. So on my key tag on the very back, there is a QR code. All I gotta do, hit that tag button, and then I could read the numbers and letters on the back and type them in and search for it, or I can hit that little scan button over to the right of the search bar, and then just simply scan it, right? Now this is a dead promo tag, so this one's not gonna connect up, but once I've done, it would automatically connect that up. Same thing for the car, guys. On the back of the car tags, all of our tags have QR codes on the back. So I would simply come in here, select tag a car, hit the scan button, and then I could scan the back of the tag and we could connect this up and get moving down the road. So same thing, this is a dead tag, not gonna connect up, but it's that simple. Once you have stuff connected, right now where you see this, what you would see is if I come back over here, much like this, you would then see, oh, the car has been tagged, I can see a car icon, the key has been tagged, or 2 keys, I've tagged both keys. Now, if you want to tag something that's not a key or not a car, no big deal, guys. All I've got to do, come into TrueTag Management, I could type in what it could be, so it might be like a dealer plate or whatever the case may be. Right? I would search it out and it would say, hey, this doesn't exist. You want to add it? Add it as a stock number. So yes, add it. I'm going to say pre-owned. And then from here, now I want to track this dealer plate. Simply scan one of my tags, guys. Very easy to track a key, a car, or anything else that might grow legs and wander off at your dealership. So let's hop over to the desktop dashboard now. I want to show you more of the metrics. So a little bit of what you saw down here as far as like some of the last sightings, the locations of inventory, all these different things. I want to walk you through those things on the desktop dashboard and show you how your inventory manager can use this tool, how your sales managers can use this tool, how a lot of different staff members can use the bigger picture version on the desktop dashboard at lm360.truespot.com. All right, guys, so here we are on the desktop dashboard, and the first thing that you can see right in the middle is the map, right? So this is showing you the VW store, so you can see where we've created that network using those exterior and interior gateways and then created geofences that all the vehicles are going to live in, right? So very easy to understand from there. Now, these guys are tracking at more than one store, so I can flip over to the Hyundai store, and then in the future, they're actually going to have a new location that you can see is still being built. So this way you can understand you can track it more than one location. Now on the far side over here, over by me over here, there's going to be a place where you can search out vehicles. And what's different about this than the app is you can search out more than one vehicle at once. So for the sake of this, what I've done is I've put in Volkswagen and just kind of picked 24s, and I think I'm doing some Atlases, right? So this way I can then turn on the pins and see where all of those vehicles are sitting. So very helpful if you're like the inventory manager and you're trying to keep it a lot nice and tight to make sure that somebody hasn't misparked a car. And I can hover over a car and it'll tell me the stock number if there's one misparked, or I can click into the geofence it lives in and it'll present me with the vehicle that's in that specific geofence, right? So very easy to understand when I'm going through this as far as hunting down and figure out where some cars are. So now that you've seen kind of how an inventory manager can use this tool, let's talk about other ways we can do this. So I'm going to clear out the search here. And I want to show you something really cool. So right now I'm looking at where all the vehicles are, but what if I turn on all the keys? Now I can see every single key on the campus all at once. So at close of business, if I'm a sales manager and I want to make sure we're not leaving keys out in cars, we're not dropping them on the lot or leaving them at a recon center or whatever, well, look at this. I can see that every single key right now is inside of the building where it should be, in their key machine or on a peg or a hook, right? Except for this one right out here. So if I click on this geofenced area, it'll tell me that, hey, the 2018 Ford Fusion key is out on the lot, and wouldn't you figure it, it's right there where the car is. So I would bet that this key got left in the car. So I can help manage this process so we don't lose assets and we're not recutting keys that are still on our campus, because all we can see from the key machine is who checked out and when, but we don't understand where it is. That's what we solve, right? So great way to use this for a close of business. Now, at the opening of business, if you're saying to yourself, okay, well, cool, will it tell me when, vehicles or keys leave the campus? And if so, what amount of time will I have that notification on? Well, anytime a key or car leaves, it will timestamp. But I can come across all these different things up top here, and there's a last sightings tab. There's actually 2 of them. There's one for inventory and one for keys. So I can click on the 72 hours. Here's a list of 14 vehicles that have left the campus and been gone for more than 72 hours. Now, there may be a reason. You may be able to click into it and find out what's going on with a specific vehicle. I'm going to turn off the map here for a second. Now I have this. I can export this list and shoot it over to somebody and say, hey, what's going on with these specific cars, right? Because there may be a note to it, and I can drop in notes, and I can see where those notes are at.
So understand that you can kind of use this tool from a understanding of managing assets as they leave the dealership and how long they're gone for, but also when they're on the dealership, where are they at? Help me understand that, right? So I'm going to clear this out and turn the map back on. Now, some other things that you can do, days in inventory. Super cool tool. I want to see everything that's 10 to 29 days old. All right, so here's a list. This one vehicle happens to be on this campus. I'm assuming that if I jump campuses over here to the Hyundai store, I'm probably going to see a handful more. Yeah. So if I'm trying to look at my old age units and I want to understand, well, is this car just not selling if this was an old age unit because of where it's parked? Well, then I could look and see. If it's parked in employee parking or in a service lot, well, I can't sell a car that doesn't get eyes on it, right? The customers can't walk by and see. For the sake of this one, I can see it's parked up front, but this car is also 10 to 29 days old, right? So a great way you can do this. And if I wanted to jump over to one of these other vehicles that maybe is over at the Hyundai location, which this one is, I could see where this vehicle is parked as well. So just very helpful as far as managing your aged inventory and understanding, hey, where are the vehicles at? Are they not selling because we bought them and we priced them too much, or we've just bought an odd-end car, or is it simply just because we have it parked somewhere weird, right? We have it parked in employee parking and no one can see the vehicle. So different ways that you can use this tool. Now, if you're tracking anything that's not a key or not a car, it's going to land in this manual entries box up here. So I can click on this and it'll show me all the 50 different manual entries that they have. Now, some of these are going to be trade-ins that they've taken in, and this will live in there until it merges up with the feed, right? So when it lands in the feed, it'll merge up and then it'll move over into the regular inventory. But also anything would be like a gas card if you're tracking that, dealer plates if you're tracking that, golf carts, golf cart keys, you know, whatever the item may be, that would live over here in the manual entry. So you can separate these items from the remainder of the things that happen to live, you know, that you're tracking. Now, if you're using the photo booth status, it's just great because how nice is it if a guy needs to take photos, you could show him how many have been taken, how many he needs to take, give him a list, and then guess what? He can see where the key is at, where the car is, so he can go take photos faster. So you can make a lot of different people a lot faster using this tool. It's not just about help me find assets that might potentially get lost and replaced, but also efficiency. Efficiency is key when we're looking at the desktop dashboard and different ways we can use it. All right, guys, so that was a quick rundown of the Lot Management 360 tool. If you want to learn a little bit more about it and go a little bit further into depth as to how it can apply to your specific store, whether you have parking structures, multiple lots with satellite locations, maybe you want to track in fixed stops, right? You want to talk about fixed stops tracking. I've got hang tags and key tags that are all trackable. Right? So there's different things we can do, whether it's the retail side and we're using the classic tags, maybe we're talking about fixed stop sites, or maybe you want something that can track on and off campus. Maybe you want battery packs you can hide in car, OBD ports. I've got a lot of different things. I've got tags with motion sensing if people are stealing wheels or catalytic converters or the entire cars. There's a lot of things we can talk about as how it applies to your specific store. So give me a call, text, email. All my information will be up at the end of this screen and down in the description, of course. Other than that, appreciate you tuning in. Hope that you'll like, comment, subscribe to the video, and let me tell you a little bit more about TrueSpot and what we've got going on. Later, guys!